This episode of the Turf District podcast is brought to you by Alberta Blue Cross. Alberta Blue Cross understands that running a small business is tough, and they understand that business owners in Alberta are busy. Let Alberta Blue Cross give you peace of mind with a group benefit plan. They offer health, dental, life, and disability coverage for your employees. Alberta Blue Cross group benefit plans are easy to manage anywhere, anytime, and on any device, making it easy for you and your employees to access. To learn more and explore your options, head to albertabluecross.ca. That's albertabluecross.ca. Enjoy the show.
Hey, fellas, we ain't gonna ever back down from nobody. I don't care who it is. This is a brotherhood. And if we stand strong together, we can't be denied. If one of us goes down, we have another and another and another that's ready to fight. So let's hit this field and bang them, bang them, bang them. Somebody light me up.
It's time to huddle up. It's the Turf District Podcast.
Welcome back to the Turf District, where we huddle up to talk all things Edmonton Elks and the CFL. And we're a proud member of the Alberta Podcast Network, locally grown, community supported, and we're also a part of the Canadian Football Podcast Network. I'm Andrew, and welcome into the district tonight. And guess what we get to do for the first time in a while? We get to talk about a win.
Outstanding.
Hey, it's crazy. It's so much awesome. And we have an amazing guest as well. But first, joining us from all over parts of the west side, it is one super fan, Mike.
All over.
Are you scattered?
Well, you do travel a lot.
I can be scattered. Yeah, know it.
I mean, everyone wants the Jantlers, so I know you got it.
Yes, it's true.
Welcome back, superfan. And
thank you, sir.
You know what else is exciting this week?
What else is
For
that?
the first time in 3 years, you and I are going to be at tailgate at the same time.
It's true.
Oh my, yeah. It's going to be very exciting.
And what are we having?
What are we having, Mike? You are the master of the menu.
Oh, it's pulled pork on a bun this week.
Ooh, that is the way to get ready for a game.
Yeah, it's going to the slow cooker first thing tomorrow, on Thursday tomorrow. Yeah, well, whatever.
Oh, wow, that's really getting some time. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Who else is here? You know who else is here?
I have an idea.
I do too.
Oof.
Commissioner Kayla. How are you,
Hello.
Commissioner?
I was better about 30 seconds ago, but Winnipeg's moving down the field, so I'm not so happy about that.
Oh, boo hiss. Come
Very
on,
distracting.
Argos.
I know, right?
Do it.
Something. Do something.
Oh my! Well, let's bring in our guest.
Yes.
Tonight, we are joined by the brand new middle linebacker for the Edmonton Elks. He had 3 tackles and an interception this week, and he is wearing number 42. It is Brady Sheldon. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited that you got the chance to join us, because I know we kind of asked last minute. Your game was so good on Friday, and I'm like, okay, well, I got to fire this out and see if we can get this guy on to chat with him. So,
For sure.
You're coming off that first win. How does that feel? And tell us your thoughts on kind of joining the Elks and getting that first win.
Yeah, sure. I joined the Elks right before the second preseason game, and so I didn't go through all the lulls of camp with the guys, but I was in camp with Toronto, and I was cut like the day before Coach Jones brought me in, and so I've been working with the team for a little over a month now. And so, having those losses, it's tough. I really like winning. Winning, yeah, as everyone else, winning cures everything. And so getting that win was huge. A lot of the things that we work on a day-to-day basis showed up in that game. And in, the prior 3 games, they didn't really show up as much as far as the turnovers go. And those other, besides the BC game that got away from us, the other two games were, the other couple games were pretty close. So it was nice to have a dub after a couple losses. So
yeah,
You're
nice to get back
us.
on the winning path. Yeah, we agree. We agree.
Yeah, you're moving in that right direction. It just keeps getting better and better. So we look forward to great things for sure. So when we ever talk to a player, especially for the first time, we like to kind of get to know them and sort of see how their journey in football started. So, like, who introduced you to football at first, and when did you start playing?
Yeah, I was introduced to football from my uncles on my mom's side. They all played football. They played in college, and one got to play on the USFL actually, and he played for the New Jersey Generals.
Nice.
In the 80s. My uncle Ross Armstrong, and so that was probably my influence. And I played baseball and basketball and ran 1 year track. And I was actually a running back when I started. So I used to carry the ball. Yeah, I was a running back in 5th and 6th grade, and then I kind of was more of a receiver and a defensive back, and that was really my influence. And then once I got a little bit bigger, it went from cornerback to safety, and then the linebacker, and then in the NFL I played a little bit of defensive end, and I think where I'm at now is probably the best fit. But yeah, so it's been quite a journey, and so I'm from Novi, Michigan,
Nice.
Which is about 20 minutes outside of Detroit. And I grew up there. I went to high school there, public school. Public school, Nova High School. And then I was fortunate enough to get a small little scholarship, one offer, and it was to Ferris State University. And I had gotten looked at to be some walk-ons at other places, but kind of wasn't an option. And I got a call the day before signing day, and my defensive coordinator from Ferris called, and he said, he was named Dwayne Wilson. Yeah, so I want to come to Ferris to play some football. And at that point, I thought I played my last down of ball.
Yeah.
And it was in January, and we're in the middle of basketball. And basketball, I think at that time, in that moment, was my number one love, because I kind of had turned the page in a way. And then I did the pros and cons, and I wanted to be a student athlete. And I went to Ferris, took that little scholarship, and it was a red shirt. I needed that red shirt year. It really was a late, I was 2 inches shorter. I was 6'3", 183. And I really wasn't ready to play college ball. So I took that red shirt year and eventually worked my way up and became a starter later on, and got a good couple years of some tape, and just enough to where the NFL took note, and I was able to have an opportunity with a tryout with the Oakland Raiders. And as a tryout guy, they had brought me in for rookie mini camp as just a camp invite. I started to show them some things, because I was pass rushing right off the line of scrimmage. It's not what I was doing in college. I was a strong safety, or a SAM. I was always in the field side of the ball, always on number 2. And so this time I was on the line of scrimmage, and thought I showed them enough, but they didn't sign me right away, but I think they liked me. Then they brought me back for mandatory mini camp, which is the end of June. So it was April of 2017. They brought me for rookie mini camp. Then it was June. And then it sounded like they wanted me in camp, but nothing was signed on paper. It really seemed like they liked me. And then this was that outside linebacker, even though I was only, 230 pounds, 232. And the guys I was competing with for that position were 250 plus. And so, that was a little bit of a disadvantage, but they liked me. They liked me for special teams, and they liked me enough to bring me back, and they signed me during camp, still at that outside linebacker position. And I was luckily enough, that last preseason game, they had some injuries at inside linebacker. And I went and I was able to get 1 or 2 series in the fourth quarter, showed some plays on the perimeter, and I thought they were going to keep me, but I was sent home for 10 weeks. And the general manager, Reggie McKenzie, and the general manager, Reggie McKenzie, said, "We want you back. We just don't know when." And so, 10 weeks in, or, after a few weeks, it was just, it hadn't hit me yet, that I was home. And then I think after like the 5th week, I was like, oh my gosh, are they going to bring me back? And so I just kept at it, kept grinding, and I was able to get that call and was put on practice team for a few weeks, 4 weeks specifically, and then was activated the last 2 games. And my first game active was Monday Night Football, Christmas Day, and in Philadelphia. So it was really cool. My family drove out like 7 hours from Detroit, and it's been a journey. I was Oakland. I had to deal with some coaching changes along the way, and then Oakland, Cleveland, then Green Bay had some coaching changes while I was there, and then I went to Cincinnati during COVID. We didn't have any preseason, but and then all of 2020, I wasn't on the team until that final month of June, during the season, or December. Sorry, not June. Sorry, June. The final month of the season, and then they never re-signed me, and so I was home for all of 21. And Coach Jones had reached out to an old teammate of mine, and from Ferris, who was my roommate in Cleveland, Tavier Thomas. And Tav called me and asked me if I wanted to go play in Canada. I'm like, this is so random. November 1st. He goes, Coach Chris Jones, he was with me. He's the defensive coordinator over there in Toronto. It's like, oh, okay. Sure. He's like, I'll send you the number. I said, it took me like 30 minutes. And I was like, I think that sounds good. I'm not going to wait around. I haven't been playing ball. I miss ball. And it's going to be great to go somewhere, and go and play. It was a full year not playing. I wasn't in OTAs. I wasn't in training camp, and I was hungry. And, I went out to Toronto, and, they cut me, and now here we are.
That's a journey.
That is a journey. Holy man.
17. So since 2017.
That's crazy.
Wow. Good.
That's
been fun.
No kidding. That's so, I like your first game Monday night. That is just mind blowing, at least for me, because I know Monday night footballs are like something to be desired, but to actually like play in it, how cool was that? Yeah,
it was awesome. It was cool to have my family drive out and come watch the game, and it was awesome. It was like, I think it was, I don't know what it is in Celsius, but it was 23 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Ooh.
Chill.
Below zero.
Below zero. Yeah, it was below zero. Yeah.
Wow.
So we all kind of have our monumental favorite players, I know, as fans, but as a player, who did you look up to as a kid and even now?
I would say Brian Urlacher. I would say the most. I mean, and then Brian Dawkins, because I was a defensive back. And so I watched a lot of Brian Dawkins. A lot of the plays that are on his highlights are not really plays that are legal, but that's kind of what makes it fun. And that's how we were kind of taught. And that's what, it was celebrated, some of those things. And now it's kind of, those kids aren't really that safe. And so, but yeah, that's who I looked up to, I would say. And Brian Dawkins and Brian Urlacher, I'd say probably, yeah.
Those are
squared.
Those are great picks. Now you told us about that whole journey and then coming up to Canada, and coming up to the Argos. What was that first experience like for you? Because you've been on so many NFL fields, and then you come to this enormous CFL field in a game that it's still football, but it's a little different as far as extra guys and all those things. What was that feeling like for you?
Yeah, it's a little different. A little bit of a learning curve. I didn't really know much about some of the intricate rules. I knew it was 12 on 12. I knew the field was big. I didn't know how big.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty big. And I didn't know about the pace of play and like the importance of the greater importance of special teams, I guess, compared. I mean, it's really important in the NFL. It's very important. But I think there's a little bit more of an emphasis here with there being only, three downs. So that was a little bit of an adjustment. The first game, that Edmonton game. So last year I got there right before they played Ottawa to make it to the Eastern Conference, to have the Eastern Conference bye. That's what it was. So we won that game. We had the bye. I didn't play that game because I got there a few days before. And then I played Edmonton in the makeup game. And in the game, so I played Edmonton in the makeup game with, Coach Jones. And we played a lot of 50 front, if you remember the game. I was playing similar to how we played last game in the beginning. And then in that game, they had me at gunner. And of course, at the time, the coach was like, do not get a penalty with the halo rule. That's the one thing that's going to happen. If you as American coming up here, you're going to get the halo rule penalty. And of course, as the gunner, I sprinted down there, but it wasn't the ball had landed right next to me, but it wasn't. Yeah. So that was immediately a wake up call with the rules. And so that's a little bit of an adjustment, but it's really all the same. It's, you're blocking, block shedding, you're tackling, you're still punching the ball out, you're still intercepting balls, and it's really all comes down to being the same. So
true. Yeah. Still football.
Still ball.
So, Edmonton's got a long tradition of great linebackers over the years. So it's always been kind of a favorite spot of a lot of people here. Have you found that it's a little trickier to stop the run on the bigger field, or it's something you just adapted to?
The stopping the run specifically? Yeah,
for a start.
No, I haven't seen that. I mean, each defense has its weaknesses. Every defense has its weaknesses. And so there's certain things that we're more vulnerable to the run or certain types of runs. And, sometimes we have a heavier box, sometimes we have a lighter box. So all those things are the same. They carry over the same. I would say, the one thing was that yard off too. I guess I haven't mentioned that. Yeah, that's an adjustment to the yard off because it's just a little bit different timing on the rush. And by the time you make contact, you have a little bit different momentum, I guess. But yeah, I think it's similar because even in the NFL, you could have a 3-man front and could be a little bit weaker on certain run plays. And, sometimes we have 4-man fronts and it's a little bit more stout in the box. So, you just gotta know the weaknesses. You gotta know, what can kind of hurt you, and it can just help you a little bit, reacting a little bit better. So,
yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So we know there's been a lot of rotation going on the roster. So how does that affect the linebacking core and how you play with each other?
It doesn't really affect us.
It's
just
good.
You just go, it doesn't affect us. You just go to work every day and you help your teammates understand what they need to do. And so you really want everyone on the same page because it's not going to take one or two guys to win a Grey Cup. It's gonna have to take everyone. Who knows? You go down. You don't want the team to fail. You got to have everyone that's in the building on the same page, speaking the same language. And so I think everyone kind of had. I don't know if we verbalized that a lot, but I think everyone kind of has that mentality of just helping the new guys come along and helping them kind of speak the same language and coaching each other up and so.
Is there any specific things that you do to build chemistry between you guys?
Yeah, we go out to dinner. Yeah, we go out to dinner. Is that what you mean? Like kind of team building kind of stuff?
Yeah. Like on and off field, because you're basically strangers, so you have to have some kind of chemistry and something aligning you guys, right? Because you can play football all you want, but if you're not weirdly linked in some way.
It's kind of funny that you mentioned that. Well, like I haven't played video games that much in the off season, and I would say right now I've had a little bit more time to play video games, I would say. And Jalen Collins and Ben Davis are just asking me if I wanted to play Fortnite, and I was like, I haven't played Fortnite in 2 years, but now that you mention it, I might get on. This week or something. And so it's that kind of stuff. It's conversations in the hot tub and the cold tub, and after practice stretching, and just BSing in the locker and that kind of stuff. I would say is what builds chemistry. That kind of stuff, and team dinners is good. Good way to do.
I see a lot of guys playing video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna all have to be on Twitch soon.
I have to
watching you guys play at the same time.
Yeah. Yes.
I have to update the game because I haven't been on that in a couple of years, so I have to get it back into it.
Yeah. We'll be watching for you, smack talking your teammates at the same time as you guys are playing. It'll be great. We have a whole new angle for Fan Day. But on kind of that same note, what was the biggest culture shock type thing when you came to Canada, and why is your answer Adam Konar? No, I'm just kidding. I mean,
AK, yeah.
That guy is a piece of Canadiana right there, I'm telling you.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he is. I mean, coming from the Midwest, or coming from Michigan and Detroit, we're really close to Windsor and Ontario, and Michiganders are pretty similar to Edmontonians, I would say, and Albertans. Is it Albertans?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say they're pretty similar in their, you got a little bit of nature, and we got a little bit of nature in Michigan, and I would say it's too much of a culture change. There's a hockey culture there too. There's a hockey culture here.
Sure is.
Football culture. So wasn't too much of a culture shock. We are pretty far though, and so I was actually just talking to my girlfriend about how similar it seems to the Midwest, but we're 2,000 miles away. Like,
right.
Yeah, or at least Michigan. Yeah.
That's very cool. When you first go into the locker room, there's a lot of the team's history on the walls and everywhere. How does it feel kind of going in there and learning about some of this history as you sort of go along?
It's definitely a building and a team rich of history and championships. And I mean, you see all of the pictures of the Grey Cups and like the little emblems around the locker room. And I mean, it's a really nice locker room and facility. And so, there's something special there. Hopefully we can get something similar to for 2022. And that's kind of, want to add to the progress of all the cups that have been won. And so it'd be great to get another one out here for you guys, for us.
You're speaking our language, man. That was good. Yeah, that's very good.
And I can definitely vouch for you when you say okay, we're Albertans, but what are Michiganders. Wow, Newfoundlanders. Okay. I have family from there, and they're not far off from Albertans, so I can definitely vouch for you there.
Yeah. Are you guys lifer Albertans or Edmontonians? I would say because Okay, you guys are born and raised from Edmonton.
I'm Albertan.
Yeah, I'm sort of Southern Albertan, and then I moved up to Edmonton. I was 3, so.
Cool. So we've had the last couple days off, and we came back to work today. Went into the facility on Saturday, and then my girlfriend had flew in on Saturday, so we decided to make a little trip out to the national parks, and so we did some Albertan type things, and we got to Jasper on Saturday night pretty late. We tried to get there before sunset, but with the mountains, the timing was a little off, and because the sun goes down a little earlier. We woke up, went down Malign Lake Road. Malign?
Yeah,
Moline, yeah.
Malign Lake Road. Two elk on Malign Lake Road in velvet, like antlers up to the trees. Saw a couple bald eagles, and on the way out of the road, we saw a black bear, which was incredible. And then we took the road down from Jasper down to Lake Louise.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of stops along the way, saw a bighorn sheep, and saw another elk, and then saw a black bear and its cub. So
nice.
That was the most Albertan thing I've done since so far I've been here, and that was in 24 hours. I saw all those, and we barely got out of our car.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. It was like Jurassic Park. It was it was awesome. It was beautiful. First time seeing the Rockies like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. It's appropriate that you see a lot of elk. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Fine, right?
Yeah.
They don't give high fives as well as your teammates,
No.
just so you know for future reference. Yeah. But
Andrew would know.
It was crazy how they didn't even there's a lot of deer in Michigan. And deer, as soon as you pull up next to the road, they'll they go. They flee. The elk were just hanging out. The bear and the longhorn sheep were just hanging out. Didn't go anywhere. So that was, it was awesome. So
yeah. Very cool.
There's nothing like Highway 93. Oh,
Is that
Jasper to Banff. Jasper to Banff. Oh yeah, it's so gorgeous. And I'm from here, and I still, every time I take that highway or go to the mountains, I'm in awe every single time.
Yeah, I definitely noticed. You could tell the people. We only had 24 hours. We only had that day, and so you could kind of tell. Some of these people were probably spending time along that road. If you had a weekend or something like that, so they're probably looking at every glacier. They're looking at every waterfall along the road. So I think we, picked some good stops and wouldn't have changed anything about it for the amount of time that we had. So it was a good time, good experience.
Amazing. Well, I don't even know how to segue to this next question from mountains to CJ, but we're going to give it a go.
Okay, go ahead.
So you played for Chris Jones for 2 years now. Tell us about what it's like playing for him, and what do you like about his defensive system?
I like his mentality. He's very straightforward. If you want to talk to him about stuff, he's very straightforward with you. He's gonna be completely honest with you, and I really appreciate that in a coach. And as far as the scheme, I like the scheme because I don't like to be in one spot. I like mixing things up, and he likes that too. And so I like that about him. And he's gonna put guys and align them in different spots, and I'm for that. He's gonna know what what people's strengths are, and so he's gonna put them in that spot and mix it up, because doing that, it's gonna give the offense a different look. And I would say that's what he's about. He likes doing that, and I like that too. So yeah, it's been good.
So this coming Thursday, starting running back Brady Sheldon. Yeah. Just
Not you.
Whatever. Just you could go wherever. Yeah. You never know with Chris Jones. It could go anywhere. Superfan, do we have a couple of fan questions to get?
Yeah, we do.
Chat? Okay.
Absolutely. So we're going to go with Leanne first. I think this is a great question. So with the massive history of modern music coming out of Detroit, do you have a favorite musical artist to come out of the area? And then second question, how important is music in your pregame rituals?
Music's a good one. I would say I haven't really listened to him as much, like in my adult life, but I would say Eminem, like growing up. I mean, that was just
sure
someone that was, from Detroit, I would say. And then more recently, I like rap. It's one of the top genres I listen to, but I like a lot of different types of music. I like classic rock. I'll listen to some classical, like no word music, and just close my eyes and just try to relax to that kind of stuff. As far as pregame, I try not to be always doing the same thing. I try not to be in my head about superstitions. I like to wear the same game socks. I mean, I guess that might be a little bit. But like as far as music goes, it depends on how I'm feeling. It's really eclectic playlist. And I just put shuffle most of the time and just go from there and just let it ride.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So Tim Capper, who's a big Alouettes fan, a lot of people are talking about the game that just happened. In case anyone wants a spoiler-free, cover your ears. But Toronto marched down, scored the touchdown, and missed the convert to lose the game by 1.
Oh, God.
So Winnipeg will win. So they're talking a lot about that. Tim Capper's asking, is there any new food item that you sort of discovered or fallen in love with that you didn't get back home in the U.S.?
So food is huge. Food is like huge for me. It's up there with the top things I like in this world and what is. And
careful, your girlfriend's right there. You're gonna it's like girlfriend food. Is that how that works? Like she's right there. Yeah. You gotta make sure you gotta
yeah.
Pretty
Fair.
But yeah. So food. My dad really likes to cook, and he was kind of my influence in trying different things because he just likes to cook different things. He likes to go into cookbooks and do that kind of stuff. So that was my influence. And then one of my best friends back home, Hisham, he just opened up a restaurant actually last April. So it's been a year, and I've worked with him a little bit, and he is a professional chef. He went to the Culinary Institute of America, and we were roommates for a little bit too. So I learned a lot from him, and so I like to throw it down. I like trying new things, and food's big time for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, we got. Are you any more there, Superfan, or should we go?
That's it for right now, and we'll go back in a bit. Oh, actually, I'm going to just ask. One Canadian staple up here is a donair. Have you tried one yet? So
donair, I had to ask the donair server about the donair because I had to go there. It's got meat, it's got rice, it's got vegetables, and that's a pretty good square meal for me. So I had to go there, check it out. Come to find out, it's the exact same thing we call a shawarma. And so, right. But I think the donair is the beef that's shaved, but we would just call it, So the donair, I think, is beef shawarma. And then there's chicken shawarma. Yeah. But we just call them both shawarma.
Okay. Yeah, I think the only other difference is it's a sweet sauce.
Oh, and it's a sweet sauce. And I think there's more Turkish influence.
Yeah.
Versus in the Detroit area, it's
maybe Lebanese or
Lebanese. Yeah, Lebanese. Yeah. Or Palestinian, I think.
Yeah. Right.
Our friends at the Alouettes flight deck will tell you that you need to try poutine when you go to Montreal. So it's fries with cheese, curds, and gravy, and it's.
I've had some poutine.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and then some Montreal smoked meat. Oh, there's the food in Montreal is great too. So
I've heard of Montreal smoked meats because we had it served once, but before we had it served at the facility once. But before that, I'd never heard of it. So
right,
Montreal steak seasoning. I mean, we have that in steak, so I've heard of that. But yeah,
so many things, and then there's the junk food. Ketchup, chips, coffee crisp, all the good stuff.
All the good.
I'm not a big junk food person. I feel like this year I was a lot better this off season with making more food at home and not eating out as much. And I just felt like it was better on my pocket and it was better for me. It was I was getting more food and better food, and it was more available and timely. I think this past off season from January till May was a lot better. I formed a little bit better habits, I'd say.
Yeah, but at home, can you make a grand Big Mac? I mean, that's the difference. I mean, no, I'm kidding.
So overrated. Come on.
Oh, come on, those are tasty.
A Big Mac.
Come on, the grand one, the big ones. Oh my God.
We're fine.
All right, then. Let's we can go down a food trail that'll go forever.
Yeah.
Let's do some rapid fire questions here. We talked about all the food. What is your favorite meal, Brady?
My favorite meal, like my favorite type of food, or my
your
favorite
favorite, like your go-to meal that is like your favorite to have.
It's steak. So I would say ribeye, bone in, maybe.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, ribeye, bone in, medium rare.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. You talked about Eminem earlier. Do you have any other favorite music or artists you like to listen to?
Not necessarily specific to Detroit.
No, anywhere. Yeah.
Like some Creedence Clearwater Revival, like that's the
Yes.
classic rock. I like that kind of stuff. It's just a super wide range of that kind of stuff. I've got some Brazilian music because my girlfriend's Brazilian. We've got some different Latin stuff. What have I just added? Added some old 2000s hip hop. Chili Peppers. I like the Red Hot Chili Peppers a lot. Saw them in concert once. It's pretty wide.
That is pretty.
I like some 90s dance. I like some 90s dance music too. Just some stuff to bob your head to.
Do you break the windows? Okay, that was a horrible reference. Okay. Sorry, Gabe.
You said CCR. That's all that matters. Let's move on. So, where's your favorite place to travel?
In Michigan?
Anywhere.
Like trip?
Anywhere. Worldwide.
How about so we'll say I think I went on the most beautiful road I've ever driven on. I will say that was probably the best road from Jasper to Banff.
It's up there.
Northern Michigan in the fall is up there too with the leaves changing. That's a great spot. I would say Northern Michigan's a great spot to travel to. In the summer, in the late, and then in fall. It's a great spot. Michigan is. Other than that, I would say warm weather place. I just generally have gone to Florida, and I've gone to Florida a few times. I like Florida. It's warm, but
it's warm. They have sand. There's water there. Yeah.
There's water. It's warm.
Yeah. Exactly. What more do you need? It's perfect.
Yeah.
What do you like to do when you're not playing football?
I like to cook. I like to play basketball. I'm gonna pick up some video games again here soon and play with some of the guys. Relax, hang out with my girlfriend, catch up with friends that I haven't talked to in a while. I like that kind of stuff. I used to hunt. I think when I was younger, me and my dad used to hunt together. Not that I don't like it. I just haven't done it in years, like years. I like to fish. I like fishing. In northern Michigan, we like to fish. Ice don't get to. I haven't gotten to in the last couple of years, or in some years, but ice fishing. I mean, not like a super passion of mine. Ice fishing in particular. But I do like the outdoors. I do like seeing nature, that kind of stuff. And I like competing, and I'll compete in anything. I'll compete in billiards. I'll compete in darts. I'll compete in tennis, that kind of stuff. I like I like playing pickup basketball. Like I'll play anyone on one-on-one. And so,
and probably beat most of them. We can. We also know now who we're inviting to our year-end Westivus party at the pool hall. That'll be great. Yeah, there's Brady, clear everybody out. Yeah,
take all our money.
Right, perfect.
So I like to play. I'm not the best. But
that works
what every
for us.
shark tells me. So we got a big game coming up on Thursday. What is your go-to pregame meal?
Go-to pregame meal. I think I have a bigger breakfast. And then my pregame meal is pretty light. It's chicken. I would say chicken rice or just some steak and rice, and some fruit. And I just probably meat, rice, fruit, and that's about it. I try to keep it like, I try not to gorge myself. So if it's like a later game, I'll have like just something that just kind of curbs my hunger and just a little bit more than that. And then, but for breakfast, I load it up. So eggs, potatoes, fruit, and yeah.
Keep it clean.
Yep, load up the salt, before the game. It's good.
Oof. You're making me really hungry. I don't know how you're handling it, Andrew.
Yeah,
I know you haven't eaten yet, and I'm like,
I got some lamb tempering right now. I'm ready to throw in the grill. 4th of July,
Oh, that's right.
Holiday back home.
Yeah.
Happy 4th.
Yeah. Well, happy Canada Day. I mean, belated Canada Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably should have said that off the top. Oops.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. But
No,
yeah.
it's
For Canadian.
No,
So we know that you don't like a lot of junk food, but if you had to choose between chips and cookies.
ooh, chips. Like a kettle chip.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Any chip.
Yeah.
I
Chip or
think I'm more of a salty versus sweet guy, but
Fair.
I like a salted. Like, I would say my weakness, junk food, is ice cream.
Okay.
I don't have any on me, but like I would say when I'm feeling like I want a little sweet, like something sweet, it would be some salted caramel ice cream.
Oh, so
Ooh.
good.
Yeah, my mouth is watering now.
Yeah.
Me
That's
too.
why I don't keep
Me
ice cream in the
too.
house because I usually just eat the whole thing
Yeah.
in a
Have
sitting.
Water. That seems like I'm
Yeah.
not okay. Yeah.
All right. So let's say everything sort of comes together. What do you think the first thing you're going to do after you win the championship?
What am I going to do the first thing after I win the championship? The very first thing, I'm going to celebrate with my team.
Perfect.
I'm going to celebrate with my teammates. I just picture it. I'm picturing it. Yeah.
Get the confetti coming.
Champagne.
Visualize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I guess I just think about the locker room right after and how good that might feel in there. Yeah. That's I can't think of anything past that right now. Maybe travel with some of the guys to somewhere warm or something like that. At that point, that'd be a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Let's speak it into existence.
Yeah. Exactly. Love it. So Mike was talking about the history in the locker room. And you were saying, you want to bring that tradition and those types of things. And we have something here, we've always kind of called it the EE way. And it's not, there's nothing specific about it. It's just kind of how guys feel. And I guess I want to know what does it mean to you to be part of the EE way and that history and all those things?
So I haven't really had a lot of the culture of the locker room culture except I would say the one thing was last week after Hamilton, we were in there and Beard led us on an Elks chant that I might need to, have to get that, written down on what we did. And, but it was really quick and we counted, I think, our score, but we had so there was something there that I hadn't experienced in the first 3 games. And so hopefully we can start, feeling that a little bit more and I can, understand exactly what the chant is. And hopefully after a couple more dubs, I'll be, leading the charge with Beardo. Yeah, but other than that, I don't really know of a lot of the deep-rooted traditions that you guys might have, that maybe you could share with me, because you guys would probably know more than me about the Edmonton tradition. And so, yeah, I guess let me know. Tell me what kind of stuff that, some of the old school guys would do and that kind of stuff.
Not sure some of it's legal anymore. Just like so many of the plays out there. I don't know. We've had a lot of people that talked about just that sort of culture. It's not necessarily of winning with the team, but just doing right by your brothers, your teammates, and just giving your all on the field between those stripes, right? So I think we see a lot of that in you for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we've got a lot. I think Coach Jones has brought a lot of guys in that really are going to go out there and basically play until they drop and wait until the coach taps you out. And we've got a lot of those guys that Coach Jones has brought along, and you can just see that the similarity in a lot of the guys in that way. And so, yeah.
Yes, that's fantastic.
Cool.
All right, well, let's get into a little bit of news. We want to talk about this win because we wanted to know all about you, but I want to talk about the win. I want to know what it's like because that was it's pretty awesome to have that part to talk about. So on the news side, the Elks did add Brian Cole as a wide receiver, and Ethan McConzo, linebacker, and Caleb Hawley as wide receiver back to the practice roster, and Mark David Bienemy is to the suspended list. Oh, double hyphen. Why are you suspended? Oh,
Yep.
That's fine. And then they added Jaywan Taylor and Ben Davis to the active roster, and then had to move Sherman Beatty to the active roster as well because James Alder Jr., of course, went down to the 6-game injured list with a shoulder injury. So some moves happening, and I know there was another one today, and I'm sorry, I don't have it written down because I seriously ran in 5 minutes before we had started streaming. So, but as it has been in the last while, it's a constant movement. But this movement pays off. The Elks win 29-25 in Hamilton on a last minute and almost literally last minute scoop and score from Jalen Collins off the Scott Hutter punch out. And we actually do have the highlight of that, which is fantastic. So here we go. There we go. From the Elks, it's kind enough that they are able to share these with us. So you can see the punch and Jalen Collins scooping and scoring, which was outstanding. Tell us a little bit about that, Brady. You were on the field as that all happened, and did you see it coming? Did you what was it like in that moment?
Yeah, it was a great feeling. That second half, we turned it around and we started taking the ball away, and it was contagious, and you could feel it, and you could sense them breaking, and so that was something that I feel like everyone else could feel, and I hope that we can, identify that kind of stuff as soon as it happens and just really attack a team, and like how we did in Hamilton, and but that game and that atmosphere was great. They have a nice atmosphere there, and I had some family travel to the game, and so to get a win. Especially after, not doing well for a few games, it was awesome. And, but when Jalen went to the end zone, I was like, I couldn't believe it. The sideline was going crazy. We were just watching everyone's reaction in the meeting. And that might be the best part about it too, is everyone's reaction to that play. And you just look, if you can go back, and take a look at the sidelines, you'll get a kick.
I'll let it play through to the sideline. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because they just erupt, and I gotta say, Jalen Collins wins for tweet of the night after the game when he tweeted out Scott Hutter is my favorite football player. That was outstanding.
I don't have it. I was thinking about getting one, but that's. I mean, it's funny that we had talked about that because we're talking about how we can kind of reward each other, the defensive guys rewarding guys for takeaways and intricate rules, and how we could reward each other in the locker room right before that game. And specifically, Jalen was leading that conversation of, if someone's going to maybe pay for dinner, or, we have, our own locker room secrets and stuff like that, so we can reward ourselves in different ways. And we were talking about if there's different intricate rules on if someone tips a ball, like if a D lineman tipped the ball to me, I can't take all the credit. So maybe we would split whatever the defense decides to reward those individuals with. And so we really were getting in detail in the locker room that game And it's just kind of interesting that those conversations and that, like, I guess we were kind of visualizing those things as we were talking about it, and those kind of things came into fruition. And it is funny because me and Jalen were talking in very vivid detail about some of that stuff, and then the fact that he was able to scoop it at the end of the game was a very interesting situation for ourselves. Yeah, it's fun.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. And now the other highlight we have is, of course, Trey Ford getting his first start, Canadian quarterback, on Canada Day, and his first touchdown goes to one Kenny the King Lawler, and a quick catch, quick throw, and a great catch and lean in from Kenny there to get the touchdown. So a big day on Canada Day with the win and all of the things that are happening. Now, the game wasn't perfect for sure, but we do have a lot of goods to talk about. So, Commissioner, let's start with you this time. Do you have a good out of this game that you want to talk about?
I think the biggest thing is the adjustments that occurred after during halftime. The first two quarters weren't the neatest, the cleanest, the nicest to watch, but you really saw that effort come in after halftime. And I think I'm pretty sure we all know what my bad's gonna be because I was seething.
Yeah.
I was seething.
Yeah.
But yeah, just seeing those adjustments and having the defense come out and rule the game, it was like, this is the CJ I know, and this is the defense that I'm used to, coming from former S, now Elks. This is what I love, actually getting some points on the board from the defense. This is what I'm used to, and I'm so happy that it's happening again. So I think just seeing the first two quarters, what they were, taken into account, at least for the defense carrying this team, that is my good for the game. And it's not just because you're on. It's not just because you're on, I swear. It's actually, we can all say the defense carried the team.
Yeah, I would say the negative that you didn't say it, but penalties is something that we just got to figure out. And it's just like some of the stuff that we just shoot ourselves in the foot, and we will be better. And I think in practice, we've talked about it and we've emphasized it, and so it'll be corrected. And yeah, it's definitely something that needs to change, especially the very controllable penalties.
Yeah, I mean, especially you look at the previous game in Calgary, the defense had 0 penalties.
Yeah, it hasn't really been a big issue. So it was a one-off, and we had tempers. Sometimes you just gotta, with all the emotions and the crowd and stuff, you can't let any of that stuff get to you. And we just gotta be better. And it was hopefully a one-off.
Yeah, that's fair. Superfan, what are your goods for this one?
Yeah, I actually got quite a few.
I bet.
A lot of stuff on defense. Obviously, the thing I loved is that the defense gave up 1 touchdown in the first quarter. The second one was, of course, on the return touchdown. But after that, it was only a field goal in each quarter after that, which I thought was outstanding, really sort of imposing that will. The fact we got those 3 turnovers is outstanding as well. And then Thomas Costigan was just all over former teammate Colin Kelly, especially in that second half. I thought he had a great game.
Yeah. I believe I texted you and said, where have we seen this before? But that was, yay, Costigan. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry.
And we got to see the sack dance, too.
We did. We got to, the Irish dancing. It's wonderful. Sorry, Brady, I stepped on you there. Go ahead.
No, that was a huge, to get pressure when he had got that sack, and the very next play he had hit the quarterback and affected the throw, like back-to-back plays. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We were able to disrupt him and mess up his timing, a lot of the throws, and it was good stuff by the D-line. Yeah.
Tell us about that interception, because Nafis Lyon jumps the ball and just about picked it off himself, but pops it up in the air, and Johnny on the spot, or Brady on the spot, as it turns out, grabs the interception.
That one was Matt Thomas.
Oh, that was Matt Thomas. Sorry, I was thinking of the other one. Right.
So I was the one right before that, and it was the the running back had checked down, and I was playing just top down on him, and I was about to, as soon as he caught it, I was about to tackle him, and he had just tipped the ball up to me like this, and I was able to catch it, like secure the ball, and I was thinking end zone, and I was immediately tackled right after that. So,
yeah,
it was like I think I had a few steps, but and then it was like immediately down. But I thought about it. I was thinking open field because I caught it and I didn't know how far back everyone else was. But yeah, it's exciting.
Were you like aware straight away that you had the ball, or was it kind of like a oh?
It was just a react. Yeah, I was aware. I was aware I had the ball. I wasn't necessarily aware that like how he had tipped it to me. Like I just realized that he had just immediately tipped it up, and I grabbed it like right here, and then was able to like protect the ball. And that's the most important thing.
Yep.
Because we were talking about trying to get to the end zone any way possible, and so in that given moment, it was good to just secure the ball and not think about yeah, it's just
great celebration too. You jumped up and hugging the guys and getting and that was the moment that I realized you're a giant dude, because you were like, it's like the other guys were like swallowed up, and that was awesome.
Yeah, it was exciting. I was just so giddy, just like hugging my teammates, like let's go, and just ran to the sideline, hugged my coach, and then had to catch my breath and get ready to go again. So.
Oh, it's fantastic. My good in this game, a couple. At first, I just want to read out Trey Ford's line because he was 15 of 26 for 159 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception, and the leading rusher with 61 yards. And some of those plays when he took off, off.
He's got speed.
Wow, do that more. That's great. And then the other part that I think that we all want to say is, could we have more Litre? Because holy man, that guy bowls people over. Like I love a running back that grabs the ball and comes through and basically puts his shoulder down and goes, "You can try," and just and away he goes. And I loved what he brought to this game. I thought it was a big deal, and I'm always excited about him as a free agent signing before, but yeah, he's really paying off. I'm really excited.
Yeah,
to see more of him.
He wasn't just bulldozing guys. I mean, he was making some cuts and going straight down field and getting small on contact. It was really fun to watch, and he's a weapon. He's a great weapon for us.
Well, we were
solid hands too.
We were second and 22, and he almost got it on a short dump pass. I was like, holy man, this guy's amazing. So yeah, more Litre is what I say. And my obligatory shout out to Matt Mangle, because his kicks are amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, the 60-yard punt that rolls out at the 10-yard line. Yeah, please.
That's chef's kiss.
That's they say the two indicators of win and loss. They say the turnover ratio, and then they say the starting average field position. And so, that's a debated, I don't know what the stats exactly are, but those are 1 and 2. And, that's huge. I mean, that field position, that to really flip the field like he's been doing for us is really, really huge. And so, yeah, that can't go without, being said.
That one. And of course the Sergio kickoffs were amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Can't get enough Sergio. Okay. Anything that you want to talk about improving on? Superfan, I'll start with you this time.
Well,
we already know Kayla's.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I was thinking less about improving on, you always want to improve on this, is one of the tough things about the game was seeing the injuries to Tanner Green and Adam Konar. Which of course is a part of what flipped the ratio, which is why we saw a lot more of Litre instead of Sherman Beatty, who I don't think got a whole lot of reps by the fourth quarter for sure. And I think because of those injuries, we had to have those Canadian starters in. So that was, that was tough to see. So I don't know how they practice today. I know Tanner Green didn't practice at all, and I think Coney as he used to be called, was limited reps. So hopefully they can, certainly get over their injuries quickly and safely and get back in the game for sure.
Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely. All right, Kayla, have at her.
My over-under was just astronomically bad. Oh my goodness. The penalties just killed me. I was like, what happened from last week to this week was just, it hurt. But I won't dig too much in because obviously Brady, we all know. But the penalties have to get cleaned up like that. I'd like to know the score if we had less penalties, if we had kept it to the 3 as we did the prior game or even less. But the other thing too is just for Trey Ford, huge fan, as you guys know, since training camp, the number 2, wear it with pride. I already love the guy. I can't wait to see the different chemistry that he has with different receivers. And with so many of our players going down, I mean, the rotation, it's going to be hard to make those leaps and bounds. But I'm having a hard time deciding because I'm a loyalist to Arbuckle, but I love me some T Ford. I was so excited, and to see the chemistry he had with Lawler, but that definitely needs to be improved, just with the communication with him and different receivers. But
it got better as the game went on.
Absolutely,
sure,
right? 100%. And so just to see again those glimpses of brilliance and the set of wheels he has, he's something special. So I can't wait to see where that goes. But for the love of God, the penalties, that's my biggest thing.
It was a one-off. Brady just told us it was a one-off.
Yeah.
Brady, I want to ask you because I know that you play on the special teams as well, and obviously they did have the one kick return, but that was a tough situation because there was the penalty before the kickoff which backed it up, and then a penalty that backed it up another, and so you had to run all the way down for the one kick, and then they had made you kick it again, and I can't imagine what that feels like, but confirm for me that was a big part of it, because you'd probably be dead tired after running twice down the field like that. Is that
they got to do it too. I mean, they got to run a little bit and they got to protect. It's it is tougher a little bit for the kickoff for sure, but we got to answer that challenge. We got to know that's a challenge, and we got to just dig deep and can't let something compound. And when one thing gets bad, you just can't let the compounding negative things occur. So we've got to, step up to the challenge of one issue and not let it just start compounding onto each other. And so, it's tough. It is tough, but it's something that we've got to, that's probably my best answer for you is just, you can't let one negative thing just affect another thing and then to affect another thing and to just immediately just move on to the next play and just step up to the challenge when something negative happens or the offense turns the ball over. It's stuff similar to that kind of stuff. We get a penalty and we're backed up and something is kind of stacked up against us. We've got to answer that call, and we've got to really we've got to be better than that. So
at least it didn't snowball like another team did from all the bad penalties. Sorry, Capper.
Yeah, that was. All right, Brady, how are you doing for time here? Are you? Can you set up next week's game, or do you need to get going, or where are you at?
I'm in no rush. Yeah, we can talk about it next week. It's still early in the week. So as far as roster and who's playing or where we're playing, it's not really stuff I can really talk on.
Of course.
As far as that goes. I don't know if you know, but that Calgary game I did not play in.
Yep.
But it was an intense game. It was such a close game for us not playing a clean game. So that's probably the best. The one thing I could say, we're a better team than we were last week, and we're a better team than we were definitely when we played Calgary. And so I can't say we are going to be better than what we put out there during that first game against Calgary. And yeah, it was a 7-point game, right? And we didn't play good ball. Not good ball. We just could play better. And considering it was such a close game, and we didn't play that great. We're better now than we were then.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're going to be more prepared, and I'm excited to go put it out there.
Well,
Fantastic.
I know we are all pretty excited to watch you guys beat Calgary. So, I mean, that's as big a rivalry as you get in our sport, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Just win on Labor Day. That's all we ask.
Yeah, we're not picky. Just
That
on
too.
So Thursday's Labor Day here.
No. That's in
No,
September.
Labor Day is in September. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we shared the same Labor Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Labor Day I think is the same, isn't it?
First Monday in September.
First Monday in September. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's a huge deal.
Huge
Yeah.
game.
We'll
Yeah.
be messaging you and be like, Brady, this is the big one.
This is it. It's in Calgary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta win.
Back to backs would be great that week. Okay, Mike, do you want to do a really quick Horde and Tell, and then we'll talk about more on this game this week?
Sure. Okay.
Let me bring you in here for some Horde and Tell.
Okay,
Here. We can do that. There you go.
Just a couple of quick ones today. First thing I got recently, this was from our good friend Celeste. This is something she had found years ago and sort of decided that she was done with it and ready for it to move on.
Okay.
So I got this. Since 1964, the Eskimos and now Elks have had their annual dinner. It was $100 a plate dinner in the 60s, so you can imagine the value of it these days. Just raising money for the team and keeping it afloat. And every year they used to give away something to people that showed up for that $100. I've shown some of the seats we've had. There have been anything from big, stadium seats to pins or shirts or whatever. In 1978, they had this lovely bag, which I believe is a thermos bag. Hopefully you can see that. And then you can see the date there.
Oh, wow. It's a relic.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not as old as me, but it's still in much better shape, I think. So the skin feels familiar. And then the other thing actually just arrived today. Any of you that have ever been anywhere where the Grey Cup has been present, it's the same guy that presents it. It's a guy named Jeff McWhinney. He's known as the Keeper. His father played for Edmonton in the early 50s, 52 to 54. He was Glenn the Keeper McWhinney. So Jeff has written a children's book, and it is called Not Without My Teammates, and it looks a little like this.
Oh, so awesome.
And one thing that is interesting, I have flipped through it, and there's a great spot here talking about one of these kids that could play and play and play, named Jed. He'd be a Grey Cup champion just like his dad, Jay. So
that's
I was kind
awesome.
of neat little bit in there tied to our team that we do love. It's a very thin book. It is available. I believe it's called notwithoutmyteammates.ca. Or I think it might be available in the team store as well. So if you get a chance, go pick it up. I know he has brought it to the tailgate, and he was showing it off and signing a few copies, but I wanted to order mine because I wasn't there at that game. But looks like a little fun addition to the Horde for sure.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It is not on Amazon.
I love it.
No, not yet.
I love that so much. I gotta watch that. I have kind of a quick Horde and Tell that I'm just gonna show because it's been a couple of weeks, and at the first tailgate, Mama Jedi came over with Commissioner Kayla, and she made this all by herself for me, which is really cool. And
That's awesome.
So this has it has our little animation people in the middle, but it has all of the sayings that I say the most on the podcast because she watches it all the time. And so I did think it was funny because it says like outstanding is actually bigger than absolutely, which I guess outstanding has taken over because I was so aware of saying absolutely all the time. But I'll tell you, all the way around it says excellent, perfect, outstanding, super excited, well done, fantastic. I love it absolutely, and that's awesome. And so this is a very, very cool homemade part that will go up in the turf district here before too terribly long. But it was sitting upstairs so that I could see it every day, and now it's going to be up in here right away because that was very nice. So thank you, Mama Jedi. That was outstanding. All right, so let's set up this week. So. Huge game going up against the Stamps. It's Elks versus Stamps Part 2. Tailgate will open around 5 o'clock because it's a 7 o'clock game. Elks are coming off a big win. Calgary's coming off the bye week. This has the potential to be the game of the week. Between them and Winnipeg, BC. I think this is we have some amazing games this week. So. Now, I know, Brady, you can't maybe answer all this question because I was going to say, what are the keys to the game? But that's really not fair for me to ask you that because you're not allowed to say anything as of yet. But I think you kind of said, like, it's just, play clean and keep improving. Like, I agree with you that you look at this team from BC to Rough Riders to Stamps to Ticats, and there's just been improvement every week. And are you guys feeling that? Are you feeling more comfortable with each other and feeling like, okay, if we need to just improve this part, then we know it'll get better? Like, is that kind of where you guys approach it from?
Yeah, I mean, you attack it. Like we just had a lot of penalties. We can't really have those type of things. The BC game. It was a few things. We had to correct those few things. And you're always going to be critical even when you get a win. So there's just things even in, we're critical of the penalties. And there's other things that, the coaches had made note of and we got to correct those things. So, I definitely have that feeling that we're on that upward trajectory of, adding progress to getting more and more wins.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Caleb, what are your keys to the game this week against the horrible Stampeders? Well, they're good, but we don't like them, so that's how we call them. Yeah.
Okay, first.
Didn't we have another name for that team for a while? The Bronx
Godless
or
ones?
something? What was it?
So, what?
They were the Bronx for many years, but that was like pre-World War II. So
right. So I thought
you said something about swamps.
No, Bronx. Swamps. It's probably not far.
Like,
anyway.
Okay.
All right, Commissioner. Keys.
Well, on social media, can they please just keep putting the right stamps up? That would be great. Do you see the video that the Elks played? It's like the good stamps. It's like, Fred, hi.
Of course, yeah.
just give me that. I'll be happy. You just got to keep clicking. And I mean, I wouldn't be overly disappointed if this didn't turn out in our favor because this team is progressing in the trajectory that we want. And for me, coming off of 2021, that's all I want. But I think now this team, talking as it is right now, definitely has the potential to beat the Stamps. And I am so happy that I can actually say that with more confidence. So I think if we can, it's hard to say who's going to start this game, but regardless of what quarterback starts, if they can find that balance with receivers and actually get into the end zone, I mean, it's pretty clear that you can beat the Stamps so long as you're scoring and keeping it a tight and tidy game. But the defense seems to be clicking. The special team has improved, especially with the tackling. In my opinion, it's completely 100% turnaround from last year. We just need that return for a touchdown, and I'll be screaming. But as long as that offense can start trending in that direction and getting its feet on the ground and finding that chemistry and that balance between the receivers and getting that run game going, this team is going to explode. And I hope it's in the face of the Stamps. So
Yeah,
those are my keys. Getting that offense clicking, because that defense has something special.
Yeah, absolutely. Superfan, what you got?
I think they had such a great formula in the game in Calgary. Seeing how well they went toe-to-toe with Calgary, who has, of course, been our sort of thorn in our side for far too long and has been unfortunately on the winning side more often than not the last 10 or 15 years. So I think that had we kept that up, I think we had a great shot to win that game. This time it's in our barn. So I think that we're going to have the fans hopefully behind them yelling as loud as they can and maybe disrupting their offense a little bit when we're on defense. I think just doing a little more of that, the added bonus of Trey Ford, if Trey does do the start, I don't think it's been announced yet. It just gives a great extra dimension, especially with that running ability, and makes them have to account for that, so they can't just pin their ears back and rush the offensive line. And I think we've got a really great shot of making a statement and moving even one more step forward.
Yeah, I think you grabbed my key kind of in the middle of that, which is another week of the offensive line being together. And what more can they were giving good time last week, which I love. And they gave decent time when they played Calgary the first time. If they can give a little bit more time for Trey to get through a couple of reads, and then if he needs to take off, if he's in there, I should say, because we don't know. But it's just, that I really think that game could be won and lost with that offensive line, and now they're starting to gel. So I'm pretty excited to see how that plays out. That's a big key for me, especially when you've got that defensive line of Calgary coming off a bye and Rose is coming up. It's a good defensive line, so they need some protection for sure. So Brady, I was gonna as Mike was talking there, I was thinking about that and just thinking, you're obviously new to Edmonton, but as a new guy, do you guys already feel the rivalry between Edmonton and Calgary? Because I don't know if it's exactly the same as Toronto Hamilton, but it's like a deep-rooted rivalry between Edmonton and Calgary. So do you guys know that? Do you feel that before you're getting ready for the game?
I just know it based on like what the guys have talked about and some of the Canadians have talked about, and talking with Litre and stuff like that, and he's talked about the rivalry because he was there, and so I don't really know about it, and I wasn't at that game, so I bet if I was at that game I could have felt a little bit more of that atmosphere and that tension in the air, and but I think I'll feel it this Thursday. So yeah, I would say I'm a newbie when it comes to understanding the deep-rooted rivalries, but just talking with some of the people in the organization, I can get a good understanding of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm excited for you for Thursday because that it's going to be an experience. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
A lead up to Labor Day. You'll feel it on Labor Day.
Correct. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. All right, this episode is also brought to you by the Well Endowed podcast by the Edmonton Community Foundation, hosted by Andrew Paul and Elizabeth Bonkink, and produced by Lisa Pruden. The podcast explores the impact of passionate people who are working to make Edmonton a strong, vibrant city to live in. The Edmonton Community Foundation helps people create endowment funds, and the podcast tells the story of how those endowments intersect with the community. You can subscribe at the wellendowedpodcast.com. That's the wellendowedpodcast.com. Which also seems like I should be saying, oh my, after every time I talk about that one. Yeah. All right. Brady, thank you so much for joining us. We loved having you on and getting to know you better and getting to know what your experience is like, both as a football player and now as kind of a transplant Albertan. It's been amazing to get to know more about you. If people want to, kind of follow you or know more about you, are you on any social medias or things?
So I'm on Instagram. I need to be a little bit better with my social media. I would say I don't have a Twitter. I got rid of it in like 2013, and I never really was interested in getting it back. There was times where I was thinking about it, and then I just decided maybe less social media is better in general.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely want to be. And now I think I got a few pictures that I can put. I can finally add a picture to my social media with some Elks gear on. So I'll be uploading that very soon. My Instagram handle is Uncle Brady, Uncle_Brady. I created the Instagram in 2012, and it was right after my sister. So I was a new uncle. My sister had Elena, and so it just stuck, and I hadn't had any reason to switch it, and so it's going to stay Uncle Brady. And I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to get a Twitter again. And I'm really not active on Facebook. And so I do need to update my LinkedIn just in general as, just a professional. I want to update that. And I'm lacking on that. So, yeah, I would say just, follow me on Instagram, and you could maybe see some grilling videos of me on my story and stuff like that. And so that's kind of what you'll see on my social media is me throwing it down, or maybe going out to eat or hanging out with my girlfriend and stuff like that, and my family.
Fantastic. Well, I'm sure you'll have a few followers more after this. That is for sure. Commissioner Kayla, where does everybody find you?
Well, first I want to say it's a little disappointing you're not Uncle Shelley. I was
Uncle Shelley. See, that name I didn't adapt that name until I guess it was really similar. It was very close in timing. I got my Instagram and that name was given to me. I might think about it, but I think it'd be hard to reference. It'd be hard to reference when, nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm Brady. Oh yeah, what's your Instagram? Shelley, Uncle Shelley. it'd be hard, all the shell. Yeah. Anyways.
Oh goodness me, that'd be funny though. Well, you can find me on Twitter, unfortunately, at Duchess Lombardi.
Lol, that's funny. All right,
yeah,
super fan.
You can find me all over the socials at 56 Parkies, and then you can find the Edmonton football history again on all of the socials under EDMHISTOREE.
Wonderful.
Okay, I can. So, Commish, you don't have a Instagram, and Superfan, you do. Andrew, you got one?
I do, but I'll tell you off screen.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then well, we have the show one, which is the Turf District.
Okay.
And so the Turf District is everywhere. It's on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So I guess not everywhere because we don't like Snapchat or any of that because,
He doesn't TikTok yet.
That's it. Oh, God. I will leave this podcast.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
I actually didn't even think about TikTok, and I don't have a TikTok. So I kind of forgot that one's a new one. I'm not that old, but I just haven't gotten into. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a TikTok, and I haven't thought about creating TikTok videos. But
that's fair.
Don't bother.
100% fair. 100% fair. All right. This week's APN shout out I should probably do. There we go. This week's APN shout out is going to That's a Thing. It's a guide to teens, tweens, and everything under 20, and it's hosted by Elizabeth and her mom, Karen. You can find them and all the other great shows at albertapodcastnetwork.com. And I'm realizing as we're already doing this is that we kind of skipped over the part where we did pick'ems. Should we do that? We'll do really quick pick'ems. We should probably throw them in there. We only have 3 games this week, so it's pretty easy. All of the East is on bye, except for Ottawa, who's playing Saskatchewan in the first game, or second game, I guess, after us. And then Winnipeg versus BC. So let's go around really quickly. Brady, do you pick on games or do you not pick them?
I don't pick games.
That's fair. Commissioner?
Holy Mazzoli and Canadian Kid.
Got it. Okay. Superfan?
Oh, this is going to be a tough one. Like I said, I think it's going to be some pretty great games. Ottawa is definitely chomping at the bit to get that first win. I think they're going to go in and steal it. And then Winnipeg, BC is going to be an interesting one to see, that offense versus the Winnipeg defense. I think BC kind of came back to earth a little bit when they played Ottawa, and it was a very close game. Winnipeg has just got such a strong defense that I think that they'll take that one as well.
All right. I am picking Ottawa because I never pick Saskatchewan because I hate them. And then I'm going to pick BC because they're at home. That's what I think is going to happen.
We're the only home game that wins.
That's
it this week.
There's two home teams that win this week. Us and BC. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. I'd be okay to have Winnipeg get knocked off. That's fine.
Yeah. Dethrone.
All right. Do you want to do a prop bet really quick?
Do you have one in mind?
Mike, do you have a prop bet for us?
I don't have one off the top of my head, no.
Oh, for crying out loud.
How about penalties?
We did that last week.
We did that, yeah.
We can do it again, though. That's all right. Can we do it again?
Sure.
Okay. Let's set a line. Okay, you know what? Let's just for sake of time, let's just do the same as what we did last week. So the over/under on penalties is 6.5. So
let's get her under.
You're going under, Commissioner?
Yep.
Come back to me.
Okay. This is Calgary.
Look what we did last time.
I'm just going to say under. Okay. Commissioner?
I'll say over because they do the opposite every time of what I say. So
okay, good. There you go. Perfect.
Hear that?
Take one for
very
the team.
helpful. I appreciate that. That's excellent.
I suck at pick-em, so what else?
Awesome. All right. Follow our friends at Pay It Forward with Football. They are helping to spread kindness, and of course, they are sending people to every home game of the Elks this week. So check them out. Pay It Forward with Football. And of course, join the huddle with us at the Turf District. That's on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, as we said. If you're on YouTube Live, stick around for us for overtime. We will chat a bit more about the goings-on of this past week, including the game tonight, and a little more fan discussion. Otherwise, we will be back next week when we talk about 2 wins in a row. Right, Brady?
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
Exactly.
That's exactly what we want. So for Brady, Commissioner K, and Superfan Mike, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for coming.
Thanks, Brady.